Hello, good evening everyone. Yes, so after many days we are meeting. So in previous class last month we were discussing about the topic neural control and coordination. Do you remember? You are able to hear my voice? Yes. So in previous class we had started with neural control and coordination, right? So we were seeing how different organs in our body is coordinating. So what do you remember? Which concepts do you remember? Can you say me some of the concepts that we spoke in the last class in the comment section? We learnt about the structure of nerve cell, yes, and we studied the different types in nervous system, human nervous system. Yes, we studied about the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So human nervous system is mainly divided into two parts, that is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, right? Yes, okay, you didn't see the last session, okay. I will be brushing up with the topics that we have studied, then we will move to the next topic. Yeah, sympathetic, parasympathetic, yes. So the central nervous system comprises of brain and spinal cord, whereas peripheral nervous system is made up of somatic and autonomous nervous system, right? Somatic and autonomic nervous system. This autonomic nervous system is further divided into two parts, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic. Right? So these are the concepts that we studied in the previous class, right, where we also studied where the somatic nervous system works and where the autonomous nervous system works. So what is the answer? Where does the somatic nervous system works on? In which part? It plays, whether it controls the voluntary functions or involuntary function when it comes to somatic nervous system. It controls the, yes, voluntary functions, that is voluntary functions or the voluntary muscles such as the skeletal system of our body, right? Yes, all are giving the correct answers. So what about the autonomous nervous system? It will control the involuntary actions in our body. Yes, involuntary action. So it can be the examples like visceral organs of our body. What is meant by visceral organs? Some of the soft organs in our body which is mainly present in our thoracic and abdominal region. Yes, the smooth muscles which are present in the visceral organs, yeah, correct. Next, this autonomous nervous system is divided, yes, correct. Autonomous nervous system is further divided into two parts, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, right? So this sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, can you put in the comment section like when it will work? we took an example of the two students, like one student who has prepared for the competitive exams and a student who didn't study for the competitive exams. How his body will react. If he has gone through the preparation for competitive exams, then parasympathetic nervous system will work. If he has not prepared for any competitive exams, then what happens? Sympathetic nervous system, that he is in an emergency situations, yeah, panic, terrible situations, fight or flight, yes, right. So that is when sympathetic nervous system works. How can you remember? When you are in a panic situations or in a fearful situation, how do you make another person calm down? You show sympathy, right? So in which situation we require sympathy? In an emergency situation when the person is going through tough situations, right? So that is how you can remember by the word sympathy in the sympathetic nervous system. Okay. So after this we studied with the structure of a nerve cell. Remember? So it had a cell body with dendrites in it, and it had axon. It had axon. Leading to the axon terminal region. And it had a cell body with nucleus, dendrites, it had a long extension called as axon. This region, synaptic knob. This is axon terminal region. Yes, axon endings. So in the picture I have drawn only 4. Is it like only 4 like synaptic knobs or axon terminal will be present, or 4 synaptic knob will be present? Any idea how many it will be? In your textbook also you might have seen the picture. No, thousands of axon terminals will be there. Like this, not axon terminal, synaptic knobs will be there. But for our understanding, we are just drawing 4 to 5 in the pictures. Okay, thousands of synaptic knobs will be present over there. Okay, then we studied that this entire axon is covered by a type of cells around it called as Schwann cells, right? Remember what I explained about Schwann cells? Yes, Schwann cells are present. Schwann cells will be present, and then they will get extended off. Yes, and then here is the cytoplasmic region. College start date, you have to come here to take your uniforms. On that day they will be informing you about the college starting date. Fine. Shall we move with the topics? Yes. So we studied about the Okay, we are back again. So we were studying about Schwann cell, right? Schwann cell gets squeezed off. Now what happens? The cytoplasmic contents comes to this region and it will be having some area over here. The plasma membrane of the Schwann cell will start secreting myelin. The plasma membrane in this part where the cell got squeezed off, that end will start to secrete the myelin. This myelin will be transparent. What's the color of myelin? It is transparent. Now what happens? These Schwann cells will lie on this axon like this. Okay. Yes, we also studied afferent and efferent fibers. So what happens? Wherever the Schwann cells has covered, when you keep the layers of transparent Schwann cells, what happens? The entire region looks milkish white. Okay. So that region is called as myelinated neuron. So Schwann cell is covering that axon, okay, and this Schwann cells has secreted myelin content and this is surrounding the axon region. Such neurons are called as myelinated neurons. In case if the Schwann cell has not secreted any myelin content, it is in this format only, and if it is covering here, okay, it will be not like myelinated and non-myelinated combination. Consider here it is Schwann cells are present but they have not secreted any myelin. Then such neuron are called as non-myelinated neurons. Okay. Synapse I will explain later. One by one we will go to the topics. Okay. So now we got to know when we call it as myelinated neuron and when we call it as non-myelinated. So what's the role of myelin? So what's the role of myelin? It's like consider an electric wire. Okay. It will be insulated, right? In the same way the axons are covered by this myelinated sheath. Myelinated sheath also we can call, because the layers of axons are placed over there. It will prevent the electrical impulses getting lost when it passes from the cell body to the terminal region. Okay. So this is the difference between myelinated and non-myelinated. Now when these Schwann cells are laid, there will be some gaps that are created. Imagine if I keep the cells like this, the space what has been created, right, that is called as node of Ranvier. This is called as the node of Ranvier. And now there is two terms, neurolemma and axolemma. Wherever you see the word lemma, understand that we are speaking about the plasma membrane. Now if I say axon lemma, I am speaking about the plasma membrane of the axon. If I say neurolemma, that is this neurolemma, which means I am speaking about the plasma membrane of the Schwann cells which are lying over here. Understood where to use the word neurolemma as well as the axolemma words? Everyone? Can I get your reactions? Yes, fine. Then we studied about Nissl's granules. Like it's a combination of ribosomes. Can you explain it again? Yes. So the plasma membrane of the Schwann cell is called as neurolemma. When we speak about the plasma membrane of the axon, we use the word axolemma. Okay. So next, moving to the next topic, here we are having something called as the dots. What I am drawing is the node of, it is called Okay, we are back again. So here we were seeing these dots what I was drawing. Those are Nissl's granules. Okay, this is Nissl's granules. This is made up of ribosomes and endoplasmic reticulum. It is found on the axon region, it is found on the dendrites region, but it is not found on the axon. Only on cell body and on dendrites Nissl's granules are found. It is not found on the axon region. Understood till here? Yes. Shall we? I have few questions for you. I will put the questions here and then you comment down the options. Okay. So the first question is, in a Nissl's granules, in a neuron, Nissl's granules are present in option A, cell body, option B, axon, option C, dendrites, and option D, both A and C. So which is the correct option? Where do we find the Nissl's granules? Just now I explained. We find it on the cell body, yes. Then where else? Fast. Yes, many are saying A and few are saying D. Okay, so the correct answer is both A and C. Just now I explained. So the Nissl's granules are present in the cell body region as well as on the dendritic region. It is not found in the axon region. So shall we move to the next question? This is based upon the previous class itself. Okay, previous and today's class. Next question. Which part of neuron terminates into a bulb-like structure? Option A, synaptic knob. Option B, cell body. Option C, dendrites. And option D, axon. So what's the answer? Which part of neuron terminates into a bulb-like structure? Synaptic knob, cell body, dendrites, axon. Yes. Put your answers in the comment section fast. Option A. So synaptic knob. In the previous diagram, we saw that, right? This bulb-like structure is called as the synaptic knob. So option A is the correct answer. Shall we take one more question? Let's move to the next question. Okay, see this question now. Myelinated nerve fibers are enveloped by Ranvier cells, Schwann cells, muscle cell, axon. What's the answer? I want everyone to put your answers in the comment section. Yes, option B. Just now we studied there are Schwann cells which secretes the myelin that covers the axon region. So, option B is the correct answer. Very good. Most of them have given the correct answers. It's not, the preparation for NEET is not just studying the theory. The more you solve the questions, the more thorough you get with the concepts. Fine. So, now we are sure with the concepts of how the neuron is present, the different types, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system, right. Okay. So, now one more concept I will be teaching, that is with, yes, you need to practice for mock test. You learn some concept, then solve some of the questions based on that. That is how you practice for NEET. Okay. So, next topic will be visceral nervous system. Any idea about this? Visceral nervous system? I think this is the first time you are studying about visceral nervous system. This was not covered in 10th standard. Okay. So, visceral nervous system, this connects central nervous system with various visceral organs of our body. This connects central nervous system with various visceral organs of the body. It's vice versa. Central nervous system with the visceral organs, or from the visceral organs with the central nervous system. It's brain and spinal cord, particularly with the spinal cord we can say. Okay. Visceral meaning, okay, visceral meaning, it's we are speaking about the soft organs of the body. Visceral organs means all, generally all the soft organs in the body, like if we take the example kidney, lungs, pancreas, our gut. So, all these are included in the visceral organs of the body. Okay. So, this mainly connects to the spinal cord and from spinal cord to the brain. Okay. So, these visceral organs are the ones which are mainly included in our body in the thoracic or the abdominal region. Okay. This is not something associated with the other parts of the body. Okay. Usually the thoracic and abdominal region, most of the soft organs in the body. This is connected by the visceral nervous system. Now, we are saying it is connected, but how it is connected? It is connected by the structures like fibers, ganglia and plexus. Okay. It is connected by various structures of the body such as nerves, fibers, ganglia and plexus. as well as nerves. Have you seen people explaining about nerves, fibers, ganglia, plexus and all? Have you heard any of this word? Yes. So these words we cannot use it in all the places. There are different places where you need to use these words. Example, let us take the word ganglia. Okay. So consider a human. Okay. So what central nervous system means, I said in the central axis it is. Okay. When it comes to the peripheral nervous system, which goes peripherally in the body, right? Yes, Baba. When it comes to the visceral organs, your tongue is not included there. Visceral organs only the main organs of our body. Okay. Group of cell bodies is called ganglia. But again, in which part we are using the words, that we have to consider. Okay. So example, the word ganglia. I can use the word ganglia only in peripheral nervous system. If I see the bunch of cell bodies in the central nervous system, I cannot use the word ganglia over there. Okay, only in peripheral nervous system I can use the word ganglia, but not in the central nervous system. You give examples for visceral nervous system. Yes, these are some of the structures in the visceral nervous system. One by one I am explaining some of the examples for what are the neuron network, what is present for in the visceral nerve. Okay, so these are some of the examples of how different neurons are placed in different regions. Just it's the same neuron, but in different locations we are giving it a different terms. Example, in peripheral nervous system. Let us take the example of the hand of a person. Okay. So now when I say ganglia, it's about the neurons over here with its dendrites. Okay, or let me draw it a bit. Consider this as the hand of a person. Okay, and we have various neurons over here. This is the main cell body and it is having the axon region, right? So this is in case of in peripheral nervous system, all the bunch of the cell bodies that are present, that is called as ganglia. Understood? Where can we use the word ganglia? It should be in peripheral nervous system. In peripheral nervous system, the bunch of all the cell bodies, we use the word ganglia. Okay. Now this axon region is present now here. This axon region, the entire axon region, this is called as fibers. Okay, only in case of peripheral nervous system. In case of peripheral nervous system, okay, if there is bunch of cell body, then we use the word ganglia. In the same way, only the axon region, the bunch of it, we call it as the nerve fibers. Understood? Yes, now let me go to the next word. Yes, I will explain one by one with plexuses also. I will rub this part. So we understood with ganglia. Ganglia, and we are done with ganglia and fibers word. Next is with example, let us go for the word plexus. Okay. This plexus, what is present? This is the connection, or we can say recombination of various neurons of spinal cord visceral organs. So that means this is connecting whatever the neurons that are connecting the PNS, yes, it's connecting to the central, the PNS that are connecting to the CNS. Where fibers are present, is it in PNS or CNS? Fibers word you should use in peripheral nervous system only, not in central nervous system. I will explain you the terms what we need to use in CNS also. Okay, first let me cover this part. So now, connection or recombination of various neurons of spinal cord and visceral organs. So that means if I say spinal cord, this is a part of CNS, right? And when I say visceral organs, this will be in the, this is in the abdominal thoracic region. So this is where your peripheral nervous system will be present. So this recombination of neurons what you see in the peripheral nervous system along with the spinal cord, okay, that we call it as plexus. Understood? Now let me give you the example of a bit more in an easy way. I will rub this part. Yes, so let us take the example of nerves. Okay, this nerves acts as a highway. I am just comparing these terms to the real life examples, okay, for our imagination to understand the topic. And nerve fibers to the vehicles passing in it, and ganglia to the junctions. That means we are having a main highway and this we call it as nerves. In that there are some small vehicles that are passing. Okay, it can move in this direction, it can move in this direction, okay. So these vehicles, I just explained the meaning of it. Okay, so next, nerves represents, this entire highway represents the nerves in our body. Okay, can you hear me now? Am I audible? Yes, fine. So I was comparing the nerves to the highway and the vehicles that are passing are the nerve fibers. And all these vehicles, if they want to take a diversion or if they want to move, they will come to the junction, right? They will come to a circle region. This junction is ganglia. So you have an entire nerves. Nerves is filled with all the nerve fibers. It can be afferent or efferent. It can be afferent, which is taking the information from the sense organs to the CNS, or efferent, which is bringing the reaction what need to be given from the central nervous system to the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so this vehicles acts as the nerve fibers, and the junction where informations get exchanged is the ganglia. Understood? So this is one of the easy way to understand the difference between nerves, nerve fiber and ganglia. Okay. Next we will move to another topic, that is different types of neurons. Okay. Till now we have seen only one type of neuron, right? The previous diagram which I had drawn, that was an example for multipolar neuron. Okay, usually that is found more in numbers, so we study about that only in all the classes. Now the first one is unipolar neuron. Okay, so in case of unipolar neuron, here you can see one axon is present, a cell body, and then we have the axon terminal region. Okay, so I will be explaining the same thing, okay, a bit more in depth. So that one round you have studied here, we are giving just some basic introduction to all the topics. Fine. Now we have the cell body, axon and axon terminal. What is missing in this picture? Which structure is not drawn? Dendrites is not drawn, right? So these dendrites are absent over here. Dendrites is not present. Usually we used to draw the picture of a neuron with dendrites. Right here dendrites are absent. Where do we find this? This example for this, like where we find this is in the embryonic stage. These are found in the embryonic stage. Fine. Yes. Next one is bipolar neurons. Bipolar neurons. So now I am drawing the picture of a bipolar neuron. See the picture. Here you are having one dendrite region, where the dendrites, you can see it has been like extended. And we see one axon region. Okay. Yes, do you explain this? Yes, we will explain this in class also. Okay, when you come here to the offline classes. Now once if you hear now, and once again when you hear in the regular classes, it will be easy for you to grasp and you will be not wasting your time. When it comes to the competitive exam preparation, it needs lots of effort to put. There are students who will be studying for this competitive exam right from 6th, 7th, 8th standards. They will be going for foundation class. So now spending your time when you are at home to learn these topics will not go in vain. You will be studying it. Okay, further also you will be studying. Even now what you learn is also good, so that you will have a deep understanding of the topic. Okay, now we have one dendrite and one axon. Where do we find this? This is found in, example like it's found in the retina of the eye. It is found in the retina of the eye. Sometimes it is replaced with some receptors also. It can be replaced by some receptors also. So it's found in the retina of the eye. So these are the examples that is given in the NCERT for this. We have a blackboard in our campus for writing purpose. I think blackboard is the best way, where you will have where the teacher will write each and everything on the board. Smart boards will make people lazy. I think this is for blackboards are really good. Okay, receptors, these are present, so that I said there's an example, retina of the eye. Okay, so if we take retina of the eye, then it has a where it needs to take the signal and it needs to give to the brain, right? So not every time it will be having something like axon terminal region. It will be replaced by receptor region. Understood? Yes. Next one is, next one more type is there, that is pseudo unipolar neurons. This is having an cell body and an axon comes out of it, which then further divides and now on both the ends so you have a main cell body. I'll explain this. So it has a cell body and it has one axon which further divides into two parts. Okay, it is divided in, same axon is divided into two regions, and at both the ends you have the receptors. So these are pseudo unipolar neurons. These are most commonly found in the peripheral nervous system. Yes, both the ends have the axon endings, and there is no concept of dendrites over here. Okay, understood? Yes, yes. So in today's class we studied something about the types of neuron, what is meant by visceral nervous system, when to use the words ganglia and fibers. Whereas when we speak about the central nervous system, we use the word, instead of the same ganglia, there we use the word nuclei, and instead of the word fiber we use the word tract when it comes to the central nervous system. I hope we'll be meeting in the next class. Thank you.